educate you on their product or the service that they provide, and then it's followed up with a 20-minute Q&A. So that's where you, the audience members, come in and give suggestions of different avenues that you might suggest, or if you have any different type of companies that you think you could have some connections with. That's what you're here to help make the introductions, help the community grow, and learn from one another. So we've got two great startups this morning that are here to present, and we're going to start things off first with Aldo from Bayside Dog Services. So please give him a round of applause.
Hey, good morning, everybody. How are you guys today? Good morning. Thanks for having me out here. My name is Aldo. I'm with Bayside Dog Service, where we believe a happy dog is a tired dog. Well, fun facts about dogs. How many of y'all own a pet here in St. Pretty popular. And how many of you guys own multiple pets? So, as it turns out, regardless of the recessions or what's going on in the economy, people treat their pets just like they do their children, and regardless, they want to make sure that they're well taken care of and they have everything that they need in order to, quote-unquote, live in the lap of luxury. And one of the things the cool thing about this industry is that it seems to be recession-proof, and they just do great. The past 10 years, as you can see, it's doubled, and it'll continue to grow, especially as people are choosing to not have children and just have more pets and become more and more involved. Another thing too is it's becoming more and more acceptable to be outside and socialize with your pets and include them and keep them as really active members of your everyday life, as opposed to a lawn ornament or somebody who's just waiting for you to come home and let them out. So at Bayside Dog Service, we provide the dogs in Tampa Bay with physical, mental, and social stimulation by using running and walking as between their daily nap times in order to make their lives even better here in St. Pete. We do this and try to keep our price points as comparable with other dog walkers and daycares in the area so that it's accessible to as many people as possible, because not everybody has a ridiculous budget to be spending on pet care. Now, whether this is the first time you've ever owned a pet, we work with you to find ways to introduce you to a dog life, if you will, or if you're a veteran pet owner and you have kennels, we manage kennel care for people over the summer while there's current managers are on vacation. We have lots of endurance athletes available to us. If you guys have been out lately, probably on your way here, I saw a few people running here and there. There's actually some pretty avid and dedicated endurance athletes in our area, and they're very, very social. A lot of them really love dogs, and we found a way to tap into that and take advantage of that physical investment, that 6-month, 10-year, whatever, however long running pace that they've built up that allows them to put in several miles, like 20, 30 miles a week easily without causing them any injury, and be comfortable doing that with your pet. So that while you are building up your base, we got your dog wore out, so you don't have to worry about it. Once you're ready, you're good to go. What we do, so it's pretty simple. We take tried and true techniques, wearing out your dog, lots of exercise, lots of socialization, and then some new approaches that, like play groups, and using dogs to heal other dogs in order to curb behavioral issues. A lot of people tell me, let me speak. To me, the dog park's like a dance club, if you will. If you go there, your song's on, you dance, you have a good time, and then you go off and you hang out with your friends and you talk for a little while, and then another song comes on, you dance. But at the end, yes, you might have burned a few calories, but is that really worth it? What we do when we go to the dog yard, to the dog park, and we're running these play groups, it's very active and engaged. The dogs, they don't get to leave because their song is over. They get back, we re-engage them. Like, hey, come on over here, get up off the ground, keep playing with these other dogs, so that they actually are able to learn from other dogs how to be a dog. Studies have been showing that that's the best way to rehabilitate animals. In fact, that's why you see like Cesar Milano with a ton of dogs all the time, why dogs do so well when they come back from their doggy daycares, where they've been exposed to a lot of dogs. They seem a little bit more calmer and social. The added bonus that we offer, that the doggy daycares don't offer, that people like Caesar Milan, who charge you thousands of dollars just to hear him talk for a couple hours, is we put in the exercise and the individual intention. So instead of putting your dog on a treadmill, we had people that are going out there and encouraging your dog. We're not training, we're not telling the dog what to do, we're just complimenting the dog when the dog is doing what it should be doing and encouraging them to keep moving forward. Once they're a little bit tired and they've gotten over that extra edge off of them, that's when we introduce them to the play yard and they're able to start rehabilitating themselves and become a more balanced member. Our pricing, as I said, is really reasonable. All our services start about $30 and go on up from there. We run seasonal promotions every quarter and in order to focus on whatever the dog needs are most common during that time. So during the winter time, we have at-home boarding, which is like pet sitting, except we don't stay at your house and eat your food and run up your bills. And we do that at $20 a session through the winter time and so on and so forth. What we do differently is we focus on health and safety, because the dog is the most important thing. It's not about our relationship with the dog, it's basically about your dog and your dog being safe in the outside world. We're all about our community and giving back. We do, one of the big focuses on all our runners is that we are educated, socially active endurance athletes who love dogs. So all of us donate our time and our expertise to different charities around here to help the dog population. And basically what's on our projections for the future is biggest thing, a private indoor dog park, because when it's too hot outside, we don't have time. Where it's too hot outside to run dogs, so we need a place to put indoors to release anything around here. Ways to make it more accessible through these mobile apps and cross-promoting other products. Thank you so much. Questions?
So I have a really fast dog. Do you have some sort of bicycle service as well?
I'll tell you what, this is what's kind of cool. Believe it or not, any of us can outrun a dog, and I'll tell you why. We can sweat, dogs can't. So I promise you, your dog out of the gate within a mile is going to need to take a break at full speed. But what we do is we keep a 10-minute mile pace. We've been able to find that dogs are able to run longer distances that way. We keep checking on the dogs to watch out for things like heat exhaustion, because like I said, they can't sweat. That's why they salivate, they breathe through their mouth in order to cool off. They also cool off by their pads. Another thing that we're also watching out for, especially when we're going fast, is their pad health, because they don't wear shoes, and we don't want to blow out your dog's pads so that they can't walk around for a few weeks. But yeah, so no, we try to avoid using things like bicycles because you're going a little bit too fast. It's more dangerous for the general public. You run the risk of injuring your dog and injuring the athlete.
Right.
Yes.
How many hours is a session?
A session, depending on what particular service you are using us for. The running starts at a 30-minute session, usually comes out to about 45 minutes with pickup and drop off. We do a log, a physical log, as well as mobile updates where we'll send you multimedia like videos and pictures of your dog when we have interesting stuff to show you. We also have at-home boarding and a daycare socialization service that we offer. That is upwards of 6 to 24 hours of care. Yes.
What are your plans for scaling this business?
First, okay. This business, the idea behind it is as we get more dogs, we can bring in more endurance athletes. All the endurance athletes that are running with this service now have very nice full-time jobs. They're just addicted to running. Now, this gives them an opportunity to, basically like a Lyft driver or any other type of service, they're able to supplement their income by doing something that they're already able to do and give back to their community and neighbors by helping them out. So as we get more dogs, we can actually absorb other businesses to help out existing dog walking services. by providing them with a network of reliable professionals that have been pre-qualified to continue to care while they're out of town. Sorry, she was.
How do you identify your human component, train them, and retain them for this business?
Train them and retain them for the people?
Yeah.
Actually, the dog sells it for us. After about a week, you'll notice a lot of differences with your dog, even if it's just a couple runs a week.
No, I mean the humans, like the runners you're finding.
Well, how do
you
we
find them and then train them to do what you just said, and then keep them?
Well, by running a whole lot is the main part. Believe it or not, the hardest part about what we do is putting in that time, building up that physical investment, that running pace, so that you can safely run and do it consistently. There's a lot of social running clubs, and there's constantly new endurance athletes moving to the area. We network through them. The ones that are really have an affinity for dogs, what we do then is start teaching them the basics. So it's like, okay, here, you can run, but you have to keep this pace. And then as they have different issues there are different seminars for running play groups. The one that I particularly like a lot and take advantage of is Dogs Playing for Life. Amy Sadler, she was here last in, I want to say April or June, she was here last, and she was actually over here at Pinellas SPCA and trained them how to run play groups, saved about 20 dogs off their, their We Can't Adopt list. Got them out there just by showing people how to run play groups. It's usually free training, so it's low overhead for us, and it's a great way to help people be more comfortable working with dogs that have different play styles that might be a little intimidating for a first-time pet owner or just a mom and dad. Yes.
As far as the kind of drop-off and pickup of the dog, how does that work? Like, as a dog owner, do I have to be home for you to come and do that? Or
Not necessarily. Really, it's built to suit. We pick up dogs out of people's yards. I have one person that I just go to their yard, I take their dog out, I bring it back and put it there. I hardly get a chance to see them. I might see them once a month. I have other people with dogs that they take their dog with them to work. So we pick them up at the office, we run them from there. I have other people that actually want to be there and say hi and talk and socialize, and that's okay. You gotta make sure we keep it short so that we can get to other things. But yeah, we really just work with our clients to try to make this as convenient. The whole idea isn't to take away or replace anything that you guys are already doing, more than to complement and complete what's already there. Yeah.
You offer a boarding service, did I hear you say?
Yes, our at-home boarding service is a lot like pet sitting. But the difference is, instead of us staying in your home while you're doing this, we take advantage of all the familiar smells and that environment, and we just keep your dog on the same routine. As studies are out there now, and the way the dog's brain is set up, they can't necessarily tell time. They don't have an idea of how time lapses like we do. So 5 minutes of them could be 5 hours. So it's really important to help them be comfortable and just keep them on a routine. And that's why our boarding services work. So we'll come, we get your dog out, collect all the dogs in the morning, make sure everybody's fed, and then we split up into 2 groups. Smaller dogs do one day in the morning, the next day they do in the afternoon, larger dogs, vice versa. And then in the evening, we go and make sure everybody's been fed and tucked in for the night.
You talked about, and my question relates to the other question, but your runners and the pickup, is it similar to what you meant with, where there's a mobile app that you can, as a runner, say, hey, I can go pick up this dog, and as a person,
Well, down the road, that's what we're looking at. The idea would be so that you could have immediate service, something happens. You're a real estate person, I need to go show this property, but I can't leave my dog alone, need somebody in the moment, or if you want to schedule in advance. But down the road, that is on yeah. Sir.
What about liability? You lose my dog, you break my dog's legs, my dog
Yes.
thrown out,
We're insured and bonded through Pet Sitters Associates. Basically, our insurance covers any injury to your dog, any injury to our athletes, any injury to your property, someone else's dog, your keys. Huh? The threshold, I think it's $10,000 for the death of your pet. Or
Well, just $10,000 is not a lot of money.
No,
Especially
yeah.
if a pit bull bites somebody in the leg. Or
no, that was just
I
for our
carry
pet.
$20,000
Yes.
So I think you're burying the lead in your presentation. What it looks like you are is kind of a lift for dog walkers and pet owners to be able to say, okay, I have people who are going to run anyway, and we do this to, just like somebody who has a car anyway, and they just want to make some money off of it. And you also have people who have a need to have their pets walked. So just a suggestion to you is, it took me a while to get to what the point of this was, but once I got there, I think it's a great idea.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah, it appears to me you can scale up for what he said, like the Uber dog walking.
Yeah.
Nice.
I'm actually a client and highly recommend also for my very high energy dog, but it's yes and no about that, because I like the consistency of knowing who my runner is going to be and have a relationship with that runner. And certain dogs, you can't have someone just off the street show up. So it's a combination. I think the runners can use it as a lift to pick up dogs, but it's runners who's already vetted and have relationships,
Sure.
experience with those.
Sure, but it's still to do it.
Well, they still bet you when you drive or.
And Uber and Lyft, they don't offer the fact that you can request a drive, but there's no reason you couldn't within their own system, and you guys could offer that with the dog walk.
Yes.
I guess I just want to throw this out there. It's a slight tangent, but I had a concept that me and the team kind of developed a little bit, and then we shelved it. But I think it sounds like, listening to your business model here, one of the most important things that you have is a group of distance runners. Right? That's kind of the core. Without your business doesn't work without that group of distance runners. It seems to be the most valuable part of your business. And so another thing that I thought of was, if you really get down to the core of what you do, which is you have these runners, another way you can leverage that is the concept that my team toyed around with a while ago. It was called running mates. And we were doing the same thing that you're doing with dogs, but with people.
Nice.
And so we had, so just like a bunch of dogs that need somebody that has the kind of stamina to run with, and people need that too. Yeah. Right? And some people want to do 5 miles or a quarter mile or 10 miles, and they can't find anyone to join them that has what it takes to join them on that run. And so just like you profile your runners, you probably get them from universities, cross-country teams, high school teams, you know, everything from their age, their gender, to what major they are at the university, and if they ran on cross-country. You can have that big profile and also leverage it for dog owners, for people that want partners running, after work. So I think that's a good core. What you've developed there, how to keep a good core group of strong runners, you can leverage that a number of ways.
Wow, I like that. I'll teach some more after the presentation.
What's a runner make?
What's a runner making? I try to keep it 2/3, 1/3. So all our runners, they make $20 off of every run session. $10 goes back to the business in order to pay for advertising. Yes.
I think in one of your last slides, there was something about a mobile app. Do you actually have one today, or is that something you're wanting to do?
No, that's for down the road. The 3 big things that we're looking at to the future is the mobile app, private indoor dog park, basically like think of LA Fitness but for dogs. A place where you guys can go and have a dog park and have structured play groups there when it's 1,000 degrees outside and it's not safe to take your pet outside to play, as well as a place that's safe for us and be able to do our runs and keep your dogs healthy. And then as well as the mobile app. We have a few developers for that as well. Yes.
Question and observation. Now, in your model, we're assuming every dog loves to run. When you pick 10 humans, not everybody wants to run. I like swimming. So what about a dog which doesn't like to run but just wants to play? How do you make the differentiation? That's one question.
Yes.
And the second thing is, I just want to endorse the fact I have a dog, a black lab. He's very well trained to run with my bike. We go on a 4-mile ride every day. First 2 miles, I don't pedal one bit. He's pulling me. And the next couple of miles, I know he likes to run. But I keep wondering about this, about other dogs. Do all dogs like to run, or what about dogs who don't like to run?
Usually, all dogs do like to run. A lot of them, they'll get in habits where they're not that comfortable doing it because it's just out of shape. They never had the opportunity to. Issues that you'll run into because of different breeds. your short muzzled dogs, like your Old English Bulldogs, things like that, they have inherent breathing issues, so they might not be running very far. I had a dachshund that I was boarding last week. She was a little overweight, so at the beginning of the week she was very lethargic. By the end of the week she was jumping up on park benches. Her whole run was a very brisk walk for me, and they were usually like 1.5 miles to the dog park, 1.5 miles back. And she, really all it was just encouragement. They like the engagement. Dogs get the same runner's high that we do. So it actually makes them feel better, it reduces their stress, it helps them tune out all that extra noise and anxiety and lets them just be okay and be receptive to either behavior modification, bonding, or training.
Yeah, I mean, I totally endorse that.
Sorry?
I wanted to interject. People in the back of the room, please keep quiet, so I can hear you all the way up front. It'd be great. Thank you. Back to you. I can hear this. Welcome.
And I bike with dogs as well. Things that I've noticed, and some dogs you can build them up to that, and if you have that relationship with the dog, that's okay. The thing is that we are literally dealing with all kinds of dogs. Sure. Some dogs we don't have that rapport and years of a relationship of working with that dog, so we don't want to go ahead and set up the dog to fail. Really, it's about setting up everybody for success, because it's really easy to take a dog to a certain place. It's really easy to introduce a dog to a behavior or an expectation, what have you, or a habit. It's really hard to bring them back from that. So it could take you 1 hour to train your dog how to do something one way, but if you find out you want to change that, it'll probably take you about a month. Yes.
How far of a circle right now do you have? Where are you located, or where is it St. Petersburg? But how far out are you going to get animals to do the runs?
We've actually gone out as far as Plant City, if it's a big enough count. I had a working dog kennel out there that had upwards of 20 dogs. They would fluctuate from anywhere from 10 to 20 dogs, so we go all the way out there because it was worthwhile. However, we stay here in Pinellas County right now as we're building up. We do plan on going all the way far north past Clearwater, Newport Richie, going up that way, as well as hitting the whole entire Tampa Bay area, hence the name Bayside.
Do you have like little satellite offices? Is this something in the future, that's what I'm talking about, like so that you can start spreading out where you actually clone yourself in a sense by getting more people around to really start spreading the business, which will make it more scalable?
I was going to say, you probably don't need an office or
anything. It's really just having enough dogs in that area and a runner that's close. That's actually the beauty of it. So somebody comes up to me, and I live in Clearwater. If I have the runners that I have that are closer to there are the ones that I'll ask, hey, I have a dog that needs running twice a week. Are you able to fit this in your schedule? More questions? Yes.
Does it take long for a runner to acclimate to a dog, or you marry a runner and a dog they've never met before? How long does it take for the dog and the runner to get each other for it to be successful?
A lot of that depends. Well, usually within a week. By the end of the idea is that what we're doing, since it's not really training and we're there just working alongside your dog, it's a lot of encouragement. We use positive reinforcement and negative punishment. Positive reinforcement is when you introduce a positive stimulus to encourage a behavior. Hey, good job, keep it up. Negative punishment is when you take away a stimulus to discourage a behavior, which is ignoring. So if the dog is pulling and doesn't want to run, we're not like, no, come on, let's run, let's go, what's your problem? It's kind of like, okay, the dog might not want to run this way, but we know that, hey, if you walk in circles, you can get the dog moving again and just keep him going. So since the runner's high things happens, once we actually get the dog moving, we notice that the dogs start bonding more with the runner then. But usually the runners are married to the idea of the dog as soon as they see them, because they love dogs. Does that answer your question?
Well, yeah, in a way. I mean, is it possible that it might consume a little bit of the runner's time at first, right? A little bit more time
Yes.
for the dog to run with them. So they have to be patient when they are introduced to the dog, correct?
Absolutely, and just like I look for endurance athletes that have a runner's base, we understand that your dog may not have that base. So even though you may have a very athletic, high energy breed, we know that, hey, this dog has been running on grass and around your carpet for the last year, and its pads are like silk right now. They're very, very soft. They're like baby cheeks, and you don't want to put that on hard pavement and run them for like 3 miles so they'll come back and it'll be all raw. So it's a lot of run, walking, building them up to it. We found that it only takes about a week to get a dog where they're go, 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 and they can keep up. Generally, our 30 minutes